Imagine if there were a miracle pill that could improve memory, sharpen focus, strengthen your immune system, prevent illness, boost creativity, increase emotional stability, extend lifespan, and even help you lose weight. A pill with no negative side effects, available to everyone for free. According to neuroscientist Matthew Walker, that miracle is sleep. In his groundbreaking book, Why We Sleep, Walker reveals the science behind why sleep is essential for our brains, our bodies, and our long-term health. He argues that sleep is the most important pillar of well-being, more fundamental than diet, exercise, or genetics. And yet, in modern society, sleep is the one thing we consistently sacrifice. We stay up late, wake up early, push through exhaustion, and treat sleep as a luxury rather than a necessity. Walker writes, "Sleep is the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body each day." Today, we break down the most important lessons from Why We Sleep and how you can use them to transform your energy, your productivity, and your life. The first big idea of the book is simple. Sleep is not optional. Every major biological system in the body depends on sleep to function properly. During sleep, the brain consolidates memories, repairs cells, strengthens neural connections, and removes toxic waste that accumulates while we are awake. Walker compares sleep to a nightly cleaning cycle for the brain. Without sleep, toxins build up, decision-making becomes cloudy, emotions become unstable, and the ability to learn and remember declines rapidly. Studies show that after 20 hours of wakefulness, our cognitive performance is equivalent to being legally drunk. And yet, most people push themselves to operate in this state every single day. Walker writes, "The shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. Sleep is the foundation of a healthy mind and body, not a bonus reward when everything else is done." One of the most important ideas in Why We Sleep is the role of REM and non-REM sleep. Sleep is not a single state, but a cycle composed of different stages. Non-REM sleep is responsible for deep physical restoration, immune strengthening, and memory storage. REM sleep, often associated with dreaming, processes, emotions, creativity, and problem-solving. During REM sleep, the brain makes new connections and integrates learning in a way that allows insight and innovation to occur. Many breakthrough ideas in history came through dreams. Paul McCartney heard the melody for the song Yesterday in a dream. The structure of the periodic table and the sewing machine were also inspired during REM sleep. Walker explains that REM sleep allows the brain to make unexpected connections that cannot happen while awake. Without REM sleep, our emotional reactions become unpredictable, our creativity collapses, and stress skyrockets. Another critical insight from the book is that we dramatically underestimate the impact of sleep loss. Most people assume that losing an hour or two of sleep occasionally has little effect, but research shows the opposite. Losing even a single hour disrupts attention, reaction speed, decision accuracy, and emotional control. Chronic sleep deprivation suppresses the immune system, increasing the risk of colds, infections, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, depression, and anxiety. Sleep also plays a major role in weight management. When tired, the brain increases hunger hormones and decreases satiety hormones, making junk food harder to resist. Walker writes that people who sleep only 5 hours a night consume significantly more calories than those who sleep 8. Sleep deprivation also decreases testosterone and growth hormone, reducing muscle recovery. It weakens willpower, decreases motivation, and damages metabolism. In short, sleep is the foundation of physical health and mental performance. Walker also addresses one of the most persistent myths, that some people can thrive on only 5 or 6 hours of sleep. The truth is that less than 1% of the population has a rare genetic mutation that allows reduced sleep without damage. For everyone else, sleeping less than 7 hours creates measurable cognitive impairment. The problem is that when we are sleep deprived, the brain becomes worse at recognizing its own impairment. We feel fine, even when we are functioning poorly. Walker compares this to drunk driving. A drunk driver thinks everything is fine, even though their performance is impaired. Sleep deprivation fools us in the same way. Simply put, thinking you can handle less sleep is not a sign of strength. It is a sign of biological malfunction. One of the most powerful sections of the book discusses teenagers and school systems. Teenagers naturally have a shifted biological clock that makes them fall asleep later and wake up later. Forcing early school start times is equivalent to asking adults to begin work at 4 in the morning. Walker shows that schools that delay start time see higher academic performance, better mental health, reduced dropout rates, and significantly fewer traffic accidents among teens. The science is clear, but culture has been slow to catch up. Another major theme in the book is the relationship between sleep and emotional well-being. Sleep acts as an emotional therapy system. During REM sleep, the brain processes emotional experiences and removes the stress chemicals attached to them. This is why after a good night's sleep, problems seem easier to handle, but after a night of poor sleep, emotions feel overwhelming. Without enough sleep, the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, becomes hyperactive, while the prefrontal cortex, the rational decision-making area, becomes less active. This creates overreaction, anxiety, anger, and mood instability. Walker explains that sleep deprivation is strongly linked to depression, PTSD, and suicidal behavior, and improving sleep is one of the fastest ways to improve mental health. The book also examines how technology affects sleep. Screens emit blue light that suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. Even small amounts of light delay sleep onset and reduce sleep quality. The constant stimulation from notifications, scrolling, and late-night work tricks the brain into staying alert. Walker warns that sleeping with the phone nearby reduces the depth and restorative power of sleep, even if it doesn't fully wake us up. Sleep also declines significantly with caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine blocks sleep signals and remains in the brain for hours. Alcohol, often believed to help sleep, actually sedates the brain and prevents REM sleep, creating poor quality rest. So how can we improve sleep? Walker offers several practical strategies. First, maintain a consistent sleep schedule, waking up and going to bed at the same time every day, including weekends. Second, create a dark, cool, screen-free bedroom environment. Darkness signals the brain to produce melatonin, and a cooler room helps the body maintain ideal sleep temperature. Third, avoid caffeine in the afternoon and avoid alcohol near bedtime. Fourth, reduce screen exposure at night and consider dim lighting in the evening. Fifth, develop a personal wind-down routine, such as stretching, journaling, or reading. Finally, if you cannot sleep, get out of bed and return only when tired. Staying awake in bed trains the brain to associate the bed with wakefulness instead of sleep. The big takeaway from Why We Sleep is clear. Sleep is not an inconvenience or a time-wasting obligation. Sleep is a superpower. It improves learning, creativity, memory, immune strength, emotional stability, decision-making, and physical health. Cutting sleep is not a form of productivity. It is self-harm disguised as dedication. Walker writes, Sleep is the greatest legal performance-enhancing drug that most people are neglecting. The more you respect sleep, the more life improves in every dimension. Prioritize sleep, and everything else gets easier. That was Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, broken down into its most powerful lessons. Which sleep habit will you apply first? A consistent schedule, less screen time, or a relaxing night routine? Share your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this summary, make sure to like this video, subscribe to 10-Minute Books, and tap the bell so you never miss our weekly deep dives into life-changing books. Remember, when you give sleep the respect it deserves, your mind, your body, and your future transform.